Well, here's what I'm saying, guys. How in the world can we, as believers, look to worldly, earthly coaches and mentors as if they would have a better model than God Himself, who walked the planet? Think about this. As a believer, as a Christian, we believe that Jesus is God. That means that we believe that Jesus created the brain. And if He created the brain and then He became human, then ultimately He would know how to best communicate to the brain. This thing is so fascinating to me because studying neuroscience, it backs up exactly what Jesus did was the best approach. So understanding your mirror neurons and your belief matters. Belief before do. His entire Bible, the God that we serve, created a Bible that says believe before do. That it's always believe. Believe in your heart, confess with your tongue. Believe in God. Second thing is your conviction around your cost of saying no. What was the cost of telling Jesus no? Well, it was eternity. And so what's the cost of your plan or program? That's the belief in your product or service. That's the law of contrast. We got to have that. This is the Jesus model. The third thing is the right questions at the right time. Obviously, Jesus asked the best questions. He didn't answer with an answer. He answered with a question. You should too. And then fourthly, it becomes that God used the tone that influenced the decision-making part of the brain unlike anybody else. And so He had perfect tone. Jesus had perfect tone. Flip the tables, you need to flip the tables. You know, He challenged some of the naysayers. He said, what does your dinero say? Pay Caesar what's Caesar's. He's saying, don't try to trap me. His tone was perfect. Or to the sinful woman who was about to be stoned. The adultering woman who was about to stone, what did He do? He said, may the first among you who has no sin be the first to throw the stone. He allowed them a new perspective, a new law of contrast, but He had perfect tone when He did it. Jesus had perfect tone. It turns out your tone is critical to whether or not somebody's going to receive your information, be disarming of their brain, and then go deep with the response. Being emotional is where the decision-making happening. And then the fifth thing is using stories, short stories, parables, metaphors, using stories. They do something to the brain that nothing else can do. And so when you just deploy these 5 things, Jesus had the best selling model. Jesus had it, not the Wolf on Wall Street, not Grant Cardone, not these guys that claim that they're the gurus. I appreciate them. I follow some of their stuff. I think it's good. It's not Jesus good. And so us as believers, when you adopt, now you would say, hey, who are you, me as Dr. Dan, gonna be the one to look to? Don't look to me. I just think that we should be better stewards of God's word and what He says, how to influence people. Jesus did it the best. If He became man and He influenced other men and He turned skeptics into believers, then ultimately He knew something that we didn't know. And it turns out, like I said, the neuroscience, the research shows that the best communicator of all time was Jesus. And so we have that 5-step method that He deployed that when you do it, I'm going to tell you, you will get results time and time again. Anybody can make this work because it comes from Jesus. It's based on neuroscience, and we got a track record that it works.